We don't really get much of this up in the north. We're more used to something like this. So when this happens, you have to get out and enjoy it. So you join me today on the sand dunes between the town of Cleveleys and the somewhat friendly town of Fleetwood on the northwest coast of England for a tour of all things radio. Our first stop is here. This is Rossall Point Observation Tower. It's a 4-storey, 46 feet or 14 metres tall tower that was completed in March of 2013. It's occupied in part by the NCI, or National Coastwatch institution. NCI is a charity and is staffed and managed by volunteers who assist in saving lives at sea, as well as the coastlines of England and Wales. Their watchkeepers provide eyes and ears along the coast, looking out for potential incidents and providing a listening watch in poor visibility using VHF radios. If people find themselves in trouble, their volunteers are there to alert His Majesty's Coast Guard, who will direct appropriate emergency and rescue services to the casualty. Each National Coastwatch lookout station is manned by a team of fully trained and dedicated volunteers, who keep a daylight watch 365 days a year at most stations. NCI Rossall Point, as it was known, was a recipient of the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, and in 2019 the name was changed to NCI Fleetwood QAVS. The tower's second floor is the base for the NCI Watchkeepers, and its top level provides an open observation deck for the general public and bird watchers. The ground floor gallery is used as an education facility by Wyre Council's Coast Guard and Countryside Rangers. A camera at the top of the tower shows pictures, which are then shown on screen in the education facility for those unable to climb to the top floor. This isn't the first tower here, however. The old observation tower, which was built in 1948, which also provided a public viewing platform, was deemed no longer fit for purpose, so in December 2011, the orange foam mast next to the tower was removed, and the roof of the old tower was removed in early 2012. The remains of the tower were converted into a toilet, and work on the new building began in February 2012. Of course, we want to know what radio gear is here, so firstly on the roof is this set of 3 VHF marine antennas. The NCI has been allocated a national licence by Ofcom for the use of marine VHF channel 65. It provides a communication channel between NCI lookouts and seafarers on a variety of routine matters. The licence enables NCI Fleetwood to respond to requests from passing as well as local sailing craft and fishing vessels for radio checks as well as actual weather and sea state conditions. They're also able to provide on request information on a range of local facilities, including moorings, chartered anchorages, water taxi contact details and local hazards. The system became operational on October 1st, 2014. Before this, some stations had a licence to operate on Marine Channel 37. There's a weather station and a PTZ camera on the roof, as well as a couple of flagpoles, but perhaps the most interesting bit of kit is this. This is a SIMRAD broadband 3G radar, and it provides NCI watchkeepers with situational awareness out to sea. At a cost of around £1,700, this FMCW radar has a maximum range scale of 24 nautical miles and a minimum range scale of 50 metres. Vessels approaching the town are required to call Fleetwood Dock Radio on VHF channel 12 for permission to enter the dock channel, so let's head up the road and take a look. The first thing to note is the Wyre Estuary Ferry, or the Fleetwood to Knott End Ferry. This service provides a vital link for visitors and locals between Fleetwood on the left and Knott End on the right. The ferry journey takes less than 10 minutes and is managed by Wyre Marine Services, and trips cost £2 per adult. The ferry departs from a ramp near the lifeboat station. A station has been here for over 150 years, and the RNLI operate an all-weather Shannon-class lifeboat and an inshore D-class lifeboat. The Fleetwood lifeboat is called Kenneth James Pierpoint and was launched in 2016. As you can see, it's bristling with radar, GPS and marine VHF antennas. These vessels cost a whopping £2.5 million. The station building was constructed in 2006 and contains crew facilities for the heroes that are based here, a shop, and secure storage for the D-class lifeboat, which is launched with the aid of a davit. Moving on, this small oval building nearby was a marine radar training station. It was built in parallel with the nearby Fylde Nautical College for the practical training of masters and crews of coastal craft in the latest radar technology. This little building sits nicely along with Decimus Burton's lighthouse from 1840, and the two structures demonstrate how far marine communications have come over the years. It was designed and built between 1961 and 1962 by the Lancashire County Council's Architecture Department under Roger Booth. The project architect was Eric Morris Hart, Assistant County Architect, and the Clerk of Works Tom Dennis. It's a simple single-storey oval building on top of a set of pillars which reach just above high tide level. It has a reinforced concrete flat roof which is still home to an impressive array of radar heads. Some of the radars appear to be much older than others, and some of the older ones have had their feeders cut, rendering them useless except for an ideal lookout for seagulls. Half of the building was a classroom, and the other half had radars and various navigation aids for training. It was listed Grade 2 in March 2003 to recognise its contribution towards Britain's communication technology revolution in the 1960s. Since my original video on this place, one radar has been removed and the building is falling further into disrepair. Last November, however, the station was put up on the market with a guide price of just £50,000, but actually sold in January of this year for £97,000 to an architect that plans to live in it. Before we move on to our next radio spot, let's have a quick look at Fleetwood's other land-based lighthouse. This is the Pharos Lighthouse, also known as the Upper Lighthouse. It's a 93-foot or 28-metre tall Runcorn red sandstone lighthouse situated further into the town. It was designed in 1839 by Decimus Burton and Captain H.M. Denham, and construction was completed in 1840. The two lighthouses at Fleetwood were designed to be used as a pair to guide shipping through the treacherous sandbanks of the Wyre estuary. Both were first lit on the 1st of December 1840 and they ran off the town's gas supply, with a single parabolic reflector placed behind the burner. They were later converted to electric. For many years the lighthouse was painted in the classic cream and red colour commonly found on these types of structures, but in the late 1970s the original sandstone was once again exposed. Moving quickly over to the port end, I noticed another unusual structure hosting some radio equipment. This is the old Fleetwood loading crane. It's now redundant in its former role, but has been given a new lease of life as a cellular radio site. This is a joint 3UK and EE setup, which provides coverage across the town. And finally, the last stop on our journey is the Fleetwood Police Tower. This is home to 4 sets of stacked folded dipoles. 2 of these are used as part of the police's UHF airwave system, and 2 are used for a council UHF digital repeater system. I'd guess that the lower 2 are used by the police, as they're usually found in pairs or threes at the same level. There's also a few microwave links on here too. 3 belong to Lancashire Constabulary, and they carry traffic to and from 3 locations: Lancaster Constabulary Building, Preesall Fire Station, and the Old Blackpool Police Station. The other link is used for airwave and goes to the top of the Blackpool and Fylde College building. So I hope you enjoyed this bright and sunny tour of the Fylde coast and some of the interesting radio sites along the way. If you'd like to see more transmitter site tours, then let me know, and for the back catalogue I'll leave a link in the description below.